In Expedition today, we're going to be creating a plant that is meant to be kind of like the Tree of 40 fruit that you just watched the video of. So you're going to be creating a new plant that is a combination of different plants. So for example, here is one that I made that I'm calling my apple family tree. And it is a combination of 4 different apples: a red Honeycrisp apple, a Golden Delicious apple, a Pink Lady apple, and a Granny Smith. So it's 4 different ones, and I made sure to kind of spread them out evenly around the tree so it wouldn't look weird that there were like sections of them. But you're going to get a blank piece of paper, and what I want you to do first is draw a line for the ground, because it has to have ground somewhere. And then you're going to decide, is this going to be a bush? Is it going to be a vine? Is it going to be a stalk? Is it going to be a tree? And whatever case that you might start with, you're going to need to start with something that is the stem. That can be the stem of a stalk, that could be the stem of a vine, but you need to start with your stem. That's going to be what we build off of. Then you need roots. So where it hits that ground, we're going to draw a few lines out and in, out, back in, out, back in, out, and back in. And we can either decide later if these are going to be subterranean, below ground, or if they're going to be above ground, kind of like how you sometimes see tree roots. So then we're going to draw a few more branches or extra stems off of there. So I'm drawing lines out and back in, just like we did with the roots. And go a few off of there. Once you get your branches made, then decide, are you going to draw your fruits or vegetables of this plant, or the flowers, something that's going to help us to identify that plant. In most cases, that's going to be the fruits of that plant. So maybe those will be watermelons, maybe those will be oranges, whatever it might be. So whether those be fruits or the flowers, whatever it might be, that would help us to understand that this is more than just a normal plant. So mine is going to be a combination of pears, and peaches. So I'm going to draw some pear shapes, and kind of like he mentioned in the video, he tried to plan his out so that it wasn't odd, that parts of it were one thing and parts of it were the other. He wanted it to look more fluid. So I'm drawing some of my pear shapes kind of scattered about, and then I'm going to draw my peach shapes. And scatter those out too. I think it needs another branch over here. And I might wait until I'm actually start coloring to do the leaves. So my suggestion with leaves will be, you can draw every single leaf individually. What I like to do with leaves though is this. I'll take my marker and I'll kind of hold it from the side, and I'll just kind of tap. Now this is going to give me kind of similarly kind of shapes. You could hold it in a different way and you could get different shapes. So if you wanted to show that this one has different shaped leaves, you might hold it in a few different ways, or maybe use a darker or lighter green, or even some red leaves are red. So you might hold it in a few different ways to make some different marks for your leaves. But I like doing this instead of drawing every single leaf and then coloring them in individually, just because that's going to take a really long time. So once you're done drawing it and giving it some color, then think about what you want to name your new plant that you've created. And I look forward to seeing what you make. Have fun.